Hello from the Global Legal Hackathon 2018 Final Round Gala here in the Big Apple. I'm Alex Muncey, and we're on the road with Legal Talk Network. And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us on the road. I'm here with Aram and Benjamin from Helpself. Today we're at the Global Legal Hackathon 2018 Final Round Gala. And I'd like to just ask you, in terms of your product, you've sort of described it as the TurboTax for expungements. Could you tell me a little bit about your product?
Well, what our product basically does is that it automates the expungement process for marijuana records. So it's a quick, fast, efficient, easy way to get a clean record.
Okay. And how did you two meet? What's your background and how did you
We met at the original hackathon.
Okay, so you met for the very first time there and formed your team and then worked together on this.
Yeah, we met at the Los Angeles Legal Hackathon.
So in terms of sort of how your product works, what's the normal sort of process for registering an expungement and how does your product sort of help expedite that?
So it's filing a petition, but because of the change in law with Prop 64, it's easier now. It didn't even exist before, to be honest. There's a number of counties that just automatically expunge it, but what automatically means is that you still have to send a form. And what they do is they just stamp it. We know that if we get them what they need, they'll just stamp it and the person gets a clean record, and that can do a lot for them. And these forms aren't as easy as people think they are. They're pretty difficult when you look at it, even from a legal perspective. It's like, are you convicted of Penal Code 537 something? And you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You know? So the whole point is to make it easier for people, and this can change a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, fantastic. So in terms of the actual sort of process, would people sort of enter their own personal information and then you would go out and contact all of the relevant people to then file that paperwork?
So what we have is a fill out PDF type of form thing where we ask you specific questions and it automatically fills out the PDF. And it's your choice. We can we're kind of doing a benevolent thing. If you want to file and serve the papers yourself, you're free to do so. The PDF is yours. But if you want us to file and serve, obviously we're going to charge you for our time in filing and serving it. But what's important is that this entire justice gap where people do not have the means to pay for an attorney and everything, if they want to just put their information into a PDF and they just print that PDF and they know where to file it because we tell you where to file it, makes everything much more easier for them.
But where our product really stands out here is that more than a PDF, it gives it to them in a step-by-step format where they don't have to have the legal knowledge of a lawyer, or they don't have to pay $3,000. They just give us our flat rate, and from there we can go and our program will automatically make all the decisions and fill it out correctly.
So, I mean, at the moment, I know you've sort of focused this on getting expungements for marijuana convictions. Are you looking to maybe apply this to other areas of the law? Are there other areas where this might be applicable?
Most definitely. This is just a starter point. We're trying to get into this because this just happened, and there's around 1 million people that need it. So if we can take them down, we'll get enough funding, hopefully, and we'll move on to general expungement or even marijuana expungement in other states. And we don't have many competitors, to be honest. They're very limited. They're, I would say, inefficient because there's a lot of states. I would say there's like 3 or 4 states that have it, and they don't have it for every county. They only have it for probably like 1 or 2 because all counties have different forms and stuff. But I can say we're lucky that California, almost every 42 counties have it except for 1 county. That's Sacramento, which is interesting because it's the state capital. So it made the process much more easier. But once we get the funding, we can put it into different aspects.
Okay. So if people wanted to follow you and get in touch and either access the product or just see what you guys are doing, how would they go about contacting you?
It's very easy. They'll just go to Helpself Legal. They'll just type it in Google. I'm sure they'll get a Twitter handle. I'm sure they'll get the website where it's not only marijuana expungement, it's a whole lot of different types of legal innovative things that make it much easier. And they can just contact us there, and we'll be happy to answer any of their questions.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. We've reached the end of the road for today's episode. And I want to thank our guests, Benjamin and Aaron, for joining us today. We also want to thank our listeners for tuning in. And if you've liked what you heard, please rate us. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with Legal Talk Network.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.